Hello, viewers. I am your regular online English language teacher, Austin Abimbola Omoshebi. And today we are going to be looking at the UTME use of English. Like I told you, I'm going to be releasing a series that covers JAM UTME and then WASC SSC English language questions. So today we are going to be looking at emphatic and contrastive stress. First, what do you understand by the word stress? Stress is the extra articulated energy or force that is placed on a particular syllable over and above others in a sentence. All right. So having said that, stress is divided into two categories. We have stress at the word level. That is the one that deals with stressing word, placing a diacritic or primary diacritic mark on a particular syllable in of a word. Now, when we're talking of stress at the sentence level, then that is when we now talk about the emphatic and contrastive stress. Now, let's look at these common questions that WAHEC or JAM UTME usually ask in their exam. Now, if you look at the model questions I have on the board here, I have 2004 UTME question. It is a common question that usually you will see in the UTME or WASC examination every year. And it is a pity that many students usually fail this aspect of English language, and it is quite unfortunate. Like I said, students are not meant to fail this aspect because it is one of the simplest aspects in English language. Now, you can see 2004 UTME question and 2016 UTME question. So these are the two questions that we're going to be looking at today. Now, I have told you that emphatic stress occur at the sentence level, while we have stress at the word level being placed on a particular syllable that sound or that is pronounced louder than the other. Now, in this instance, a question says, number one question says, or first let's read through the instruction, says, the word in capital letters has the emphatic stress. Choose the option to which the given sentence relates. Now, if you see this kind of question in the exam, emphatic or the emphasis that when we're talking of emphatic stress, it means the emphasis is being laid or placed on a particular word in that sentence. And that's why I refer to it as stress at sentence level. So because the word is, the emphasis is placed on a particular word in a sentence. If you look at this number one example, the teacher wants my pen. The one that is written with capital letter here is the one that receives the stress. That's the one that receives the stress. So in this case, the examiner is telling you that this is what I am emphasizing. And in that regard, whatever correct option that you are going to be picking against this answer or for this answer must be the one that actually contrasts this one, and that's why we have emphatic and contrastive stress. So this is the emphatic stress because emphasis is laid on or placed on a particular word, which is my. But we're now going to be having the contrastive stress. Contrast means when you have the opposite of what is being emphasized. So it means that in the sentence, what you're going to be looking at is this. The teacher it is the subject of that sentence. It means it must be retained in whatever correct option they are going to be choosing. I think you can understand what I'm saying now. So the teacher, which is the subject of this sentence, must be retained in the question. It is not going to change. So the next one is want. Want is the verb in that sentence. That is, it must also be retained in the correct answer that you're going to be choosing. I think that is clear. Now, pen is as well the object. So, meaning pen must also be retained in the correct answer you're going to be choosing. So, the only one that contrasts these or that negates what is written here is what is going to be your correct answer. So, if I ask, the teacher wants my pen, does the teacher want his pen? What do you say to that? Is it correct to pick this? Now, I'll come back to this. Let's come to the other part of the sentence. What does the teacher want? What does it want? What does it want? So it is to tell you that what does is not part of this. So it is not going to be answer. And my, which is emphasized, is not being contrasted here. So it is not going to be the answer. Now, thus the teacher wants your pen. Now, you will look at this that the teacher is here. Want is here, even though it is written in a plural form. Now, your pen is also here. Does the teacher want your pen? So now you will discover that this is going to, this is not going to be an answer because why? I want somebody to guess why this is not going to be the answer. The teacher, does the teacher want your pen? Now, it's still referring to this. My pen, my pen, my pen. So, I'm not going to say, this is my answer. Though, and then, now look at this. Who wants my pen? Who wants my pen? If the teacher has been emphasized, if the teacher has been written in capital letter, that is to say that the emphasis is being placed on this, then this can be correct, but it is not going to be correct. So let me go back to this. The first one, does the teacher want his pen? You can then answer no, not his pen, but what? My pen. So I think this contrasts this one, and that is going to be the correct answer in this example. Now, number two, Lamide is very hostile. Lamide is very hostile. Can you look at this? What is being emphasized here? Very, very. Lamide is hostile. How hostile is Lamide? Very hostile. Now, in this instance, now this is just a question. Is Lamide so hostile? Is Lamide so hostile? No. We will say Lamide is here. So is here. Hostile is here. So this contrasts this. Very and so. So is Lamide so hostile? No. He or she is not so hostile, but what? Very hostile. I think this is clear. Now let's look at the second option, why the remaining is are not going to be the best option for this question. Is Lamide friendly? If hostile has been capitalized, it means it is emphasized. And in that regard, this is going to be the correct thing if hostile had been capitalized or emphasized. Now, was Lamide very hostile? Assuming that is capitalized or emphasized in this question, then this can be right. Now, was is going to be right. Then who is hostile? Assuming Lamide is being capitalized or emphasized, you can say, okay, who is being emphasized? You say Lamide. But the only thing or the only option that contrasts this particular emphasized word, which is very, is so. So what I'm saying in essence is that to get the correct answer for this type of question, every other element of that sentence or every other constraint of that sentence are going to be retained. But the only one that contrasts the one written in capital letter, which is the emphasized word, is what you pick as your answer. I hope that is clear. Now, share, love, and like this video. as we discuss another topic in my next video. Thank you.